Hey, it's Patrick. Welcome back to another story from the family records. Week by week, I'm going through the records in my vinyl collection, which was inherited from my mom, dad, and uncle. Each record I pull gets listened to 3 times, and as I'm listening, I figure out the story of the album, the songs, and the musicians who made it all. Let's pull another record. Today, I've got something really special for you. First of all, I'm tweaking the format a bit as I'm always adjusting and adapting elements of the family records. So please, like if you're enjoying the videos, and leave comments letting me know what you think about the episodes, the albums, or anything else. Second, our band, which started after Deep Purple founding member and epic guitar player Ritchie Blackmore quit Purple in 1975. Blackmore recruited Ronnie James Dio to be his lead vocalist, and today's band was born. Today's album is their second, and it has quite a story to tell. Let's drop the needle on. Rainbow Rising. Rainbow. They're a British rock supergroup that was formed in 1975. What happened was, at the end of 1974, Ritchie Blackmore was recording the track Black Sheep of the Family, a cover of the band Quartermass, which was planned to be a solo release, with Blackmore's newly composed 16th Century Greensleeves serving as the B-side. The studio sessions featured Ronnie James Dio, drummer Gary Driscoll, who was Dio's bandmate in the group Elf, and cellist Hugh McDowell of ELO. Blackmore was so pleased with the tracks that he decided to extend the sessions to an entire album. And after recruiting 2 other members of Elf, Rainbow was born. Originally called Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, the band shortened their name to Rainbow, although their debut album was still called Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. The band was originally planned as a one-off collaboration, and though Rainbow the band would endure, in some ways the original plan did come to fruition. The original Rainbow lineup featured 4 of the 5 members of Elf, including Dio and Driscoll. But shortly after the debut album was finished recording, everyone but Blackmore and Dio either exited or was fired from Rainbow. Blackmore then recruited drummer Cozy Powell, bassist Jimmy Bain, and keyboard player Tony Carey, forming the new roster. Rising, Rainbow's second album, was recorded in Munich in less than a month. Cozy Powell told Record Collector magazine in 1996 that much of the album was recorded in 1 or 2 takes. It released on May 17, 1976, peaking at number 48 in America, number 38 in Canada, and number 11 in the UK. It was certified gold in Australia, Japan, and the UK. Critically, the album was very well received. According to AllMusic, Rising captured, quote, Blackmore and Dio at the peak of their creative powers. It chronicled both the guitarist's neoclassical metal compositions at their most ambitious and the singer's growing fixation with fantasy lyrical themes, a blueprint he would adopt for his entire career thereafter. Now personally, I have no nostalgic connection to this particular album. It wasn't played when I was growing up as far as I can remember, and I believe that it's one of Uncle Tom's albums, so it makes sense. He was a big fan of Deep Purple, so it follows that he would have picked up anything related to them, including Rainbow. And also it follows because the album had the plastic sleeve over it, and usually that's the giveaway. Nikki has some of her albums in plastic sleeves, but I think generally if it's in a plastic sleeve, it's a good bet the album belonged to Uncle Tom. So that's why I never really heard it when I was growing up, because it was in his collection. Now, when I was listening to the album for the 3rd time, when I really trying to sink it in, I think the second side is better than the first in my opinion, mostly because of how it's structured with the 2 long songs telling one cohesive story. Even though I'm not super lyrically inclined, it was good. And the extended length of the songs really gives space for like some amazing guitar and drum solos. Great stuff on those tracks. It's a good album overall. Like I enjoy all of it, both sides, but I do think the second side I appreciate more again, just because you have those 2 8-minute tracks. In 8 minutes, you can really give people time to play around a little bit. There's some crazy guitar solos, and Stargazer, I believe begins with a short drum solo that's sort of listed as a great learning solo for drummers. So yeah, some really nice stuff on the second half of this album that I really enjoy. Overall, Rising has maintained relevance as a great heavy metal album, ranking 48th on Rolling Stone's 100 greatest metal albums of all time. To be completely honest with you, family, I find genre distinctions tricky, and I honestly don't believe in the concept of strictly defined genre anymore. So I'm going to take Rolling Stone at their word, because I don't know. But either way, it's a really fun album. Now, I did add the album to my streaming library, and I think that's also going to be my ultimate rating system for the series, since, like I said way back in episode 1, I don't feel like I have really any credibility to say objectively what is good or bad music. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I can tell you I really like the album. I suggest you check it out too, and that's how I feel about this one. It's really fun. I'm definitely going to listen to it again on random, and I suggest you check it out. So, Rising, the second album by the band Rainbow. Check it out. I really enjoyed it. It's a fun, really good album. Lots of good guitar solos, drum solos, some great musicianship. And yeah, really cool kind of thematically in terms of that fantasy rock. Almost like not quite the same as the Kinks yesterday with like the theatrical ballads, but a similar concept of music. I saw someone describe it as Dungeons and Dragons music. So I agree. It's a great album. Check it out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying around for my goodbye thoughts. Thank you. It's the first day of the new format, but this is really the first day of the first step of the beginning of an evolution. I'm always going to evolve, and I'm looking to evolve the style and the elements of some of the editing, all the stuff, working out properly as I'm hoping it's going to. So, trying to give myself some more runway this week, like I've been trying to do for the last couple of weeks to tackle some of these things. But yeah, I think that's realistic. That's going to happen, and you're going to see this evolution probably over the month of May, I think. I'm just going to start tweaking stuff and staying true to our mentality of 1% better every day. So I've had some great feedback from a bunch of people, but I'm thinking of a specific person in my network who's just identified some things that they saw that I want to work on. Just really to grow, that's what we're always looking to do, grow, offer you more value. So yeah, that's gonna be coming up, starting with this video. So yeah, like I was saying, I'm really thinking this week, starting to get ahead. You can tell it's kind of like it's a really great day also, but it's a bit later than I might normally record. Just trying to get some of these things rolling. So. I know this has been my plan for like a couple of weeks. I've talked about it, but just obviously had that setback with my seasonal allergies being really bad. And then sort of last week, just really trying to catch up on everything that I got behind on, including a bunch of real life stuff, like big things on my to-do list, like doing my taxes before the deadline. So those are done. Getting insurance for my studio and my house. So that's done. The car insurance for my car that I drive around to see clients. So that's done. So good to get those things done so that I can focus more on this, and yeah, just like I'm saying, just try to have the good balance that I'm trying to figure out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this month. But ultimately, whatever I accomplish or not, daily, weekly, monthly, I'm going to give you all my best effort always. I'm going to enjoy life while I do it, though. I'm not going to kill myself doing it. I've had a super up and down like my last couple days, just a lot of different things going on. For me personally, both like with my work, with my life, it's nothing crazy. It's just normal parts of being alive. But I was like feeling so up, and then feeling pretty down on Friday and Saturday respectively. And ultimately, I've just been leaning into all of my feelings, all those feelings more, and really experiencing them. And like it's funny, like I was driving to a friend's house last night, so that's Saturday night, and Honey High by Fleetwood Mac came on. That's one of our old albums in the series, but it was on my random because I've added it in my library, and I started crying. Like I listened to it 3 times in a row also, so I was like just being a bitch, but but yeah, I started crying, and it's about like such a small thing, relatively speaking. For context for all of you, so I went out on a date on Friday with this like gorgeous, like absolutely amazing, beautiful, smart, super funny person, and it felt like we were just like really clicking. Like it was just really good. And then how old I was came up, and it was like obviously negative. I think anyway. I don't know if that was the only thing, but like honestly, like our vibe seemed to be really good. And then I was walking them home, and I brought that up, and then yeah, basically the next day she's like, yeah, it's not a thing. And she's 27 and I'm 34, so like I don't know, like it didn't seem crazy, but that's legitimately like the first time I think ever in my life so far that I felt old. So, which is also like as an abstract concept, something that I don't really subscribe to. Like that's a complex thing, but yeah, it was crazy, man. So, and like I said, it's also a relatively small thing, but it really just got me thinking about like, man, how beautiful it is that I can feel so sad about something, and how amazing it is to be alive and be able to feel such vast like contrast of things. Like I just, yeah, I really love it. So I'm just eternally grateful for every day that I can do this, that I can be alive. And I want you all to know that I love you so much, and I want you to know that too. And Uncle Tom, man, I'm feeling everything for you every day. You're still alive. I remember you. I love you, man. I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you with the next video.